Alright, Tuskarr, rank 3, renown 3, gives us access to community feasts. You may join in preparing Tuskarr community feasts, earning acclaim among the Iskaara, and when eaten, a food buff. Speak to Big Canuck in Iskaara to learn more, which is this dude that's cooking the freaking feast. But you will also notice on your map, a community feast icon will appear. We currently have the Tuskarr will begin their feast soon. Time left is currently 15 seconds. So in 15 seconds, the event will start. Completing the event, you'll get a supply-laden soup pot, and you can also pick up a quest from this little guy here. That quest just requires you to complete 5 different community feasts, and you'll be given another supply-laden pot of soup. And as well, Iskaara Tuskarr reputation. Let's go ahead and journey in, and I'll bring you in for the goodies for this event. The main thing is the bags. That's the purple bags that I've been showing you. One from completing the event and one from doing the quest. And the other is the actual buff that you get from the soup itself. So, the event should be starting soon. But while we're waiting for it to start, there are a poor, a common, an uncommon, a rare, an epic, and legendary quality soup that you can make, depending on how far you go. And I'm assuming we might get legendary based off of how many people are in partaking this event. And the only difference from each one is the buff that you get from your food buff at the end. And the food buff does last like a normal food buff for an hour. And with that being said, you'll always get the heals you and nearby players for 5% maximum health. And then there's also a versatility buff that comes along with it. So let's go ahead and partake in this event. As you can see, it is currently at a poor quality. So we got to get in these crafting materials, if you will. They're basically rations and they're fish and stuff that are going to be spawning here. As you can see here, we got some fish. Let's go ahead and kick them into the fish bowl. There's going to be a couple of other things. For example, there's going to be some meat that spawns every now and then. Just go ahead and pick up that. You'll get an extra UI button. Go ahead and click on that near the soup, and it'll just be added to the soup. We're currently now at 117 out of 250. And every now and then, tough carps will appear. And then the higher and farther you go, the more of the event will actually occur. Occasionally, there will be a spawn that comes in from either side. And last but not least, if you are lucky enough to get enough people to craft a legendary soup, you'll again get the max buff, which I'll show you at the end, and also a possibility at a rare spawn. But next up, I want to go ahead and show you guys the supply-laden soup pot here. So if I go ahead and look up the supply-laden soup pot, there are not that many items that you can get from this. So the event, besides going for a food buff, which is not really the best, as you can see, here's one of the spawns. It's not really the best thing ever, but I would really only come here if the event has just finished and just grab a food buff. However, I do have a quest, so I will be completing 5 different feasts as well. Let's go ahead and grab some meats. And let's go ahead and get close enough to where we get this and put it in. But again, the only time I'll ever do this event is the first 5 to get my quest done, to get the achievement, to get the possibility of the rare spawn, and also the buff. It's cool, but it's like, do I really want to spend all of this time doing this event? I have 12 more minutes left until this is done. It's kind of a long process for just a simple 1 hour buff. However, like I said, there is a supply-laden soup pot, and it contains some goodies, but really the only goodies you're going after are the cooking recipes, and there are 3 different types of cooking recipes. So, they are all Grawl cooking recipes, or they all have Grawl in the name. There's Grawl's Devotion, there's Grawl's Reverence, as well as Grawl's Veneration. There's 3 different cooking recipes that you can get. Other than that, the rest of the drops, they're all green pieces of loot, and they're not that great. So, the main purpose for you to being here is, again, the food buff, to get the 3 cooking recipes, reputation, and that's pretty much about it. But let's go ahead and fast forward and speed run through this. And for those of you tuning in live, of course, you could be watching the rest of this. But for those of you tuning in while I upload and edit this, you're not really missing too much else. I'll catch you guys towards the end. Alright, we can get a legendary soup. Come on, guys. Put it in. Put it in, boys. Put it in. Put in the meats. We want that legendary. Alright, we got 18 seconds left. We made it to legendary. Let's freaking go. That's how we do, team. That's how we do. Legendary soups. Legendary soups. Legendary soups. Also, just like the start of the event, it doesn't end exactly when it's supposed to end. So, y'all gonna have to wait a little bit. But with a big group like this, I mean, usually you will get legendary soup. As long as you have like 10 people. I've noticed, I've been able to get legendary for 10. So, I've done this event 3 times. This is my second time with the quest. As you can see, I've done it once here. And I've done it before, but we could try to keep pushing it, the legendary, but the event's over. We're pretty much got a legendary suit. Not much else that we can do. My boy over here chefing it up, chef currying it. We gotta wait a little bit for the soup and the event to kind of finish. And there are times where if you cannot beat the soup, you have to like mount up, get away, and come back, because it does bug out like that sometimes. There's not much we can do. But without further ado, let's just keep going. Let's just keep waiting. And the event is done. All right. Ooh, we got the rare. Let's go. All right, we got the elite legendary over here. Biscuits himself. Little rare tin. Little soup rare. Uh-oh, he's stirring the pot. He's stirring the pot. Let's loot. Oh, let's go. Let's freaking go. Oh, it's a gun. Really? It's a gun of all things? Yay! Alright, let's go ahead and get our food buff so I can show you guys what this is all about. Alright, so as you guys can see, 60-minute food buff. We got the legendary quality for the Iskaara soup, so this is the max buff that you can get. Killing a creature in the Dragon Isles grants you and nearby players Spirit of Sharing, which is gain 959 versatility for 15 seconds. So every time you kill something, you get 959 versatility for 15 seconds. And you also get to heal for 5% of your maximum health. So it's kind of like a OP freaking world PvP buff. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, that is pretty much it. That is the feast event. Thank you all very much for tuning in. Now go have some good soup.